Hey everybody, I'm Justin Bohn.
And I'm Mike Val.
And this is the Bohn and Zano Zone, where we are always on the lanes, off the charts, and on the mic. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Bohn and Zano Zone podcast presented by BuddiesProShop.com. Mike, Happy New Year.
What's up, bud? Happy New Year is right.
You know, as I was doing some stuff for the show today, this is show number 50 for us.
This is the 50th anniversary?
The 50th show.
Wow. We've come a long way, man.
It's been a year.
It's been a good year, and we have some good stuff on the table for the upcoming year, I guess I want to say.
Yeah, we got two shows this week. This one, we're going to be going over everything with the Players' Championship happening this weekend, format, patterns, players, our picks. On Thursday at 1 o'clock. We've got a special guest. Do you want to spill the beans?
Yeah, I'll spill the beans. Thursday, I think we're going to have some fun with this guy Thursday.
Absolutely.
I guess you want to call him the original bad boy of the PBA.
Yep.
And we are talking to PBA, USBC Hall of Famer, the manager of the first-year team in the PBA League, the Brew City Ballers, I believe is the name of the team.
Yep.
The one and the only Marshall Holman.
Yep. He will be right here on Thursday at 1 o'clock. I'm excited.
Yeah, Marshall is going to – we want to get some dirt out of Marshall. And we're going to have some clips as well from Marshall's career.
Yep.
So we're going to have some fun with the Medford Media on Thursday. And then we are working on something very large as our next guest. And all we'll say, I'm going to say this, Justin, the guest that I'm going to say I'm working on it, but I kind of have an in with this person.
Yep.
The guest that I'm working on, he's not a bowler per se, but he's been in the bowling news the past 6 months, I guess.
Yeah, he was involved in the bowling news, but he's not a bowler himself.
Not a bowler. He's not in the bowling industry, but he's been involved. He's been in the news because of bowling. Leave it like that.
Yeah.
And he will, for once and for all, put to bed the debate.
No, not once and for all, because it'll still be ongoing.
Okay, but he's the one guy that can really cement his opinion on the series.
His opinion is going to be valued over others.
Oh, yeah. So we'll leave it like that. But anyway, let's get started. Before we start, I want to say awful. I feel so bad for the news we heard this weekend from Verity and from Daria. That is just so sad. PWBA tour, they have to go home because the visa is expiring or something along those lines, right, bud?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, what really sucks is that like Verity's been here like the whole time, like since March, and now they finally have something to bowl for the ladies again, and she's got to go back home. And
Verity has a job here. She's the coach at SCAT. I mean, she pays taxes, and how do you send her back to England? That is such a shame. Hopefully they can get this thing straight out and get the two of them back here immediately.
Yeah, because those are two pretty big players, and they definitely want to be back in the States for when the PWBA tour kicks back up.
Yeah, I don't know.
By the way, is kicking back into gear pretty soon here.
Yeah, they start off in Arlington, I believe, right? Arlington's the first stop.
I think it's next week.
Yeah, and they're in Arlington for the first stop. but definitely hope they can get this straightened out. And there's not a, I think Verity's probably like the Jason Sterner of the ladies tour. Sterner is just the king of practicing. I mean, you'll attest to that. And every time you look at Verity, she's always practicing with Janowitz then at Kegel. She is just a practicing machine. She's a phenomenal player. So hopefully the both of them can get that straightened out and get back to the States where they belong.
Yep. So do we want to get into this PBA Players Championship?
Dude, I can't wait. This is exciting. $1 million prize fund, 5 regions.
$250,000 for first place.
This is kind of like that $1 million tournament in Kingpin, but you've never seen Kingpin, so I can't even say anything.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But the way that it works this weekend is there are going to be 5 regions across the United States. Players will come out of each region, and then we'll meet down in Florida for the finals. So the way that it works is 5 players from each region, the Northeast or Virginia, Wisconsin.
It's kind of weird how they have it set up. Like Virginia for us is including guys south. Like when you think of like the Eastern region, like the regionals here.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Jersey, New York, Connecticut, PA, Mass, but it's going more down the coast.
Yeah, and I think that it was based off of the amount of players and where that they are. I think that the PBA did a big time of splitting back up or splitting up the regions based on the amount of players and the skill level of each player to where it wasn't an unfair advantage for one region over the other.
Yeah, and then they had to filter in the international players. The internationals are, I think they're out west. And
Europe is going to Florida.
That's right.
And Australia or anyone from, I think, Asia is going to Arizona.
Arizona, correct. Yeah, yep. So it's a pretty good mix of how they did it. So why don't you tell me about how the format works, the patterns, and then we can get into the picks later and our little wager.
So we know that they're bowling 28 games, 4 7-game blocks on 4 different patterns. The top 5 after 28 games make the step ladder in that region. Now, the step ladders in each region will be down in the finals will be in Jupiter in Florida. The 5 Virginia, Wisconsin, Tampa, Texas, and Arizona. So those 5 regionals, the top 5 in each region, will go down to Florida and they'll bowl a step ladder on TV.
Now, is there a prize fund in each region or no? It's just one giant prize. There is. Okay.
Yes. So I know that if you make the TV show, it's $10,000 in any of the regions.
Okay.
I want to say 1 in 3 or 1 in 4. I could be wrong on that.
Okay.
But they
now the East also has a PTQ.
Yes, the East has a PTQ. Yeah.
So now, how is that going to work? So it's the field.
So they sold it based on the first, and so it was first come first served basis.
Yeah,
that's how you determine who got into the PTQ and who didn't. The first, once it got past 90 or 96, we got Ryan Simonelli tuning in the chat. He's just said 1 in 4 according to the site. Thanks, Ryan, for that one.
Thanks, Ryan. We got to get Ryan on one day. He likes us. We got to talk to him one day.
He'll be on the list soon.
Yeah.
So once it gets past 96, they take spots 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, and 96. So it's 6 spots out of the PTQ. And then basically anyone who signs up after 96, they all bowl for the PTQ. It could be, if they have 150 entries, it's 6 guys coming out of the PTQ.
Gotcha.
So
interesting.
Once they get down to Florida and bowl the regional or bowl the step ladder, the winners of each step ladder will have some sort of a roll off. I don't know the format exactly for that, but I know that they'll bowl some sort of roll off, and then that will determine the seeding for the final step ladder, which is those 5 players will bowl a live TV show in February.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right, and then they are bowling on 4 different patterns, so it's 2 short, 2 longer patterns. And the PBA actually made them accessible. They changed it. Tom Clark posted them for the public, so guys are out there getting familiar with it now. So what are they bowling on there, Justin?
Let me go look on PBA.com and see if
I know one of them is Viper because of said practice session we had last night with certain entrants in the Eastern region.
Yeah.
Or two entrants in the Eastern region that we practiced with last night.
Yeah. So it will be 36-foot Viper, 41-foot Bear, 39-foot Chameleon, and 48-foot Shark.
Oh, and we're getting some answers here.
Okay.
All right, Matt. Just with Matt's a plethora of knowledge, and he knows everything.
We got some gambling going back and forth here in the chat between Chuck and Ryan.
I see that Chucky and Ryan is going at it.
Nobody likes Ryan, but or Ryan doesn't like anybody, and that's probably true. He might like my brother, but that's probably about it.
That's the lefty connection, that Ryan and your brother.
Yeah, it's a lefty connection.
Exactly, and we know Chuck's kind of anti-lefty anyway. So
yeah.
So 4 patterns across the country, 2 short, 2 longer patterns. How do you want to do this, bud? Do you want to hear my top 5 per region?
Yeah, I think what we're going to do is you're going to read off your top 5 of who you think is going to be in and who you think is going to be watching, we'll say. Pick your top 5 out of each region. We'll discuss it. Someone who should be or shouldn't be in.
All right, so give me a region and I'll start it up.
Start in Arizona.
Arizona. Well, Arizona has the distinction of allowing the Australians in that region. So obviously the first pick, it's going to be Belmo. I mean, how can you not take the best in the world?
Right.
Belmonte is my first pick coming out of the West or out of Arizona. Next one, you got to go with a lefty, and you got to take Butters. And he's been. It looks like Butters has been practicing a lot more with resin instead of the urethane trick in the past couple months.
I've been seeing that too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's starting to incorporate resin more into his game. So, I mean, can't you take a lefty that has a 600 rev rate?
Right.
And he's deadly accurate. So Belmo, Butters. Third one is Simonson. I think he's the second best bowler in the world behind Belmo. They're always 1-2 in all the majors. So those are my 3 right there. And for 4 and 5, I got 2. I don't want to say lesser players. Maybe lesser known players is the right way to say it.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a PBA 50 guy as one of my finalists.
Really?
Yeah. Michael Haugen.
Okay.
Haugen, he always finds a way, and he's straight. He's really straight. And on these patterns, obviously, the straighter you go, the more you keep in front of you, stay out of trouble. Haugen made a living doing that. So I like Haugen as a sleeper pick. And then the 5th one is, I don't know, it may be a name people aren't familiar with. I'm familiar with him, but I bowled with him in the Mega Buck stuff. David Haynes. Okay. David Haynes, Team USA guy forever. The man can hook it on ice. From Las Vegas, great player. So those are my 5 out of Arizona: Belmo, Butters, Haugen, Simonson, David Haynes.
Okay, I'm gonna swap out the last 2 because I totally agree. I totally agree with the first 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think Michael Haugen definitely does have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a matter of pin carry at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
His ball is always going to be in play. It's just a matter of if he can get his ball to go through it the right way.
Exactly. He has that PBA 50 carry now, like where he flat 10s where everybody else kicks it.
Yeah. I got to throw Darren Tang in the mix.
Darren Tang's a solid pick.
Darren Tang has been bowled really well last season. Made a couple shows at the World Series and has been quietly making his way up the ranks. I think that he's another guy.
Okay.
And it's going to be dependent on how the left and the right is.
Of course.
But I think Rhino Page is in the mix too.
Okay.
Along with Marshall Kent. Marshall Kent's been bowling pretty well.
The big bowlers now.
Yep. I think both of those guys are in the mix of the top 10.
Okay.
Those are 2 of my guys.
So you would say they would be in contention with a day to go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we disagree on 2. Not bad. All right. Give me the next state.
Let's go to Texas.
All right, Texas. Let's start off here. He just won an over-under regional. I think it was last weekend I'm not familiar. I don't know what state he won. I know he won AJ Chapman, and
I like that pick.
yeah, his game is great. He gets out of it phenomenally. Great player. He's due. He's got to break through. I think this is the year he finally breaks through to the winner's circle.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time for him. But
yeah,
he throws it really well, and this could be his time.
Yeah. So Chapman's my first pick. Second pick, can't go wrong with this guy. Two-time winner of the U.S. Open. How do you bet against Frankie Lavoie? Can't. I mean, his touch is just, it's ridiculous. Like, you can't bet against Frankie, especially in something like this. I mean, he got up to double to win the U.S. Open. The pressure doesn't faze the kid. So Frankie Lavoie is my second pick out of that region. Third, again, I'm going to put a senior player in there. I know I think he's 56 now, 57. Okay. But for this much money, Pete Weber will find a way to strike. And he's healthy. We talked to him. He's healthy. He just won something on New Year's Day out in the Midwest somewhere. It's hard to bet against Weber with all that on the line. He'll find a way to strike. The fourth one.
Before you the next one.
You got some internet problems there, but you're kind of choppy. I think we're losing Justin. Yeah, Justin is frozen currently. So it is just me. Yeah, try that again. You're still choppy. I love my partner like a brother. I really do, but he has the worst internet in the world.
Yeah, it's not lucky.
Yeah, you're coming in a little better, but you're still kind of choppy.
Okay. If I need to join phone, just let me know.
Of course. Yeah, you're still choppy. You're frozen. And
do you want me to hop on my phone?
Yeah, hop on your phone really quick. Yeah. Well, we'll pause here. What's going on here in the chat here? As we're waiting for Justin to get back. A lot of love for Ryan Simonelli today. Ryan is cool. Yeah, we know Ryan's a good guy. We like Ryan. So anybody in the chat here have anything to say or anything? We'll take a question or two until we get Justin back for my final two here. But this is going to be a good tournament. This is really good for the from the PBA, what the PBA did. This is really something good. The prize fund's amazing. And I kind of like the format, going around the country and having the regionals. This is going to be really good. Hopefully they do this again for the players. This is a good major. This will be something good. And the fields across the country are just loaded with talent. Loaded with talent. Here's a question for everybody here. My next cooking lesson. Well, it depends what you want me to make, Troy. I'll take requests and we can do that. Yeah, Weber did win a 10-gamer. That was something I saw out there. He whacked him. It's hard for me. It's hard to bet against Weber, especially in a major. I know he's getting up there in age, and when we talked to him last, he said he's a flat 10 where everybody else's ball kicks the 10 out now. But for that much money with this on the line, it's hard to bet against Weber. I mean, he's one of the top three that's ever thrown a bowling ball. It's hard to bet against Pete. It really is. Well, thank you, Chuck. Each one of my jerseys now have it, and there may be another new logo going on my jerseys, Chuck. We'll have to fill you in on that at a later time. But Weber is one of my picks there. So far we have Chapman, Weber, Frankie Lavoie out of the Texas region. We're waiting on Justin for my final two. I will say that one of my next picks in the region is another senior player. So I have one senior player and another, I don't want to say another no-namer, but it may be a no-namer to certain people. They may not know the guy or be familiar with him, but this guy has made his name known, and Justin Bohn is back.
How are we?
Hey, bud. Welcome back.
How are we? Yeah, we are.
I don't know. You look frozen again, or you're like on a little delay.
Is it not any better?
Yeah, dude. It's like it's like 50-50.
Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, I love my partner, but you're frozen again.
That's definitely not better.
No, it's not. I love my partner to death, everybody. I do. And I love this kid, but God, he has the worst internet in the world. 50 shows he's had good internet service 7 times.
That sounds about right.
You're on the Randy Peterson internet there, but there you go. That's actually not bad.
That sounds about right.
Don't move. That actually came in pretty good. And we're back to me. I don't know what Justin's doing over there. You know, these bones, they just we're back.
We're gonna try this again.
No, that's good. That's fine. I just hear myself, so take my echo out, and we're good. You're good.
Yeah. Is that good?
All right. Yes, don't move. You're fine. So where we left off, I gave you Chapman, Frankie, Weber, and you told me to stop at my next 2.
Okay. So I didn't know that he was bowling until I just saw it literally 2 minutes ago before the internet froze.
Who's this?
Rick Steele-Smith.
I saw that one too. New coach of Wichita State.
Yeah, I think he was a player for a long time on the PBA tour, and I think if he's worked up enough skill back up, I think he's got a chance.
Yeah, Rick Steele-Smith arguably was one of the most anticipated guys to come on tour after college, and him and I, we share something, Justin. We have something in common. I don't know if you know this or not.
Go ahead.
We both had our rotator cuff repaired.
Okay.
Yeah, he had rotator cuff surgery, and that kind of hindered his career a little bit. But Steele-Smith's a great player. So you would put Steele-Smith in your top 5 out of that?
All
right.
I would throw him in the mix just because he has more of a modern style game.
Yeah.
He definitely has one of the higher rev rates, more modern game, stuff like that. That's why I think he comes into the mix.
Is he 50 now? Is Steele-Smith a senior?
He's close to it.
Yeah, he's pretty close already. All right. So obviously, I said I'm taking another senior player out of that region. So Grandpa Barnes is my 4th, obviously. That's, again, for this much, Barnes will find a way to strike. He always does. He always finds a way, with stuff like that. So he would be my 4th. And the 5th one I'm taking, and I said it's a name that we probably are familiar with, another guy I bowled the Megabucks with, Team USA guy, Pharoah Williams.
Okay.
And I don't know if people are familiar with Pharoah Williams. I'm sure Chuck, if he's still watching, knows Pharoah well. Pharoah Williams does not get cheated at the bottom of the swing at all. He is a really good player. He's been a good player for a long time, Team USA. So those are my 5: Barnes, Chapman, Frankie, Weber, Pharoah Williams as the sleeper.
Okay. I think a name that needs to be thrown into contention is Brad Miller.
Yeah.
I think Brad Miller really – oh, well, that answer is 50. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
But I would – the way he proved himself with the World Series this year, making the show and then doubling or checking out in the 10th to win a match on TV, he definitely proved his worth, and his time's coming. I wouldn't mark him out of this.
Yeah, I could see Brad being in contention with a day to go as well.
Kyle Sherman's also in that mix too.
Yep, the both of them, and they'll be vlogging the whole time.
Yep, not surprised. So
all right, so we are good out of Texas.
I got one more name.
Go for it.
Did you throw out a left-hander?
I did not put a lefty in that region.
Okay. Packy Hanrahan.
Did Packy move to did he move?
He lives in Wichita, yeah.
So he did move, so he's in Wichita fully now.
Yeah.
So no more practice sessions with Packy at Connecticut.
Well, his family still lives in Connecticut, so he might come home.
Okay. All right.
So I would throw him into the mix that he's in contention. He made a show at the World Series, won the PBA League this year. I would throw his name into the mix as well. Definitely in contention.
Okay. All right, bud. Where do you want to go next?
Let's go a little north. Let's go to Wisconsin.
This was the hardest one, I thought. I looked over this morning, and not a knock at any of the other regions. I think Wisconsin had the most talented region out of the 5.
Yeah,
That's
just
my
from
opinion.
rolling through this list, I could definitely.
You see where I'm going with it? I mean,
I definitely do see where you're coming at. Yeah.
yeah. So first one is EJ. I think that's a no-brainer. I think we'll agree with that one.
Okay.
EJ is the first one. Another guy, somebody you're really familiar with. He made the show, the TSC, years ago when it was 250 for first. The one that Mika won. He finished second for 100K. Smallwood. Smallwood always finds a way in the majors, especially when there's a lot of money on the line. So I'm going to go EJ Smallwood to start. Third one, he's been practicing. He's been very vocal on social media the past couple of weeks with some new equipment. Is Rash.
Okay.
Rash, he's been there forever.
Yeah.
Rash knows how to get it done.
Yep, he definitely does, and he's been pretty high up there for a few years now.
Yeah. So EJ Smallwood, Rash. The next two, both major champion winners on tour. They've both been on our show. I'm going to go with Wes.
Okay.
Wes knows how to get it done, obviously. And then, how do you bet against the Shark?
You can't.
You can't. I think, and I know there's like that difference between your two-handers and your one-handers. If you're going to say that, I think Chris Prather is the best one-handed bowler in the world.
I would. It's either him or EJ.
Yeah, exactly. And they're both in that region. And Prather, I mean, he's Mr. 100K. I mean, every time there's a 6-figure payday, Prather is on the show.
Yeah, and I mean, there are definitely some other guys in there. I'm just looking at ones that have contention.
AJ Johnson.
Yep. We've been talking about seniors. Lenny Boris Jr.
Lenny Boris is another one. Yep.
He's really dominant on the PBA 50 tour.
But he's been dominant in anything he bowls for years.
Yeah, so I think that if he's got it, don't count him out.
No, exactly.
Andrew Anderson's another name that's going to be
absolutely. I mean, that's why I said this region is probably the hardest region.
Yeah, honestly, just scrolling through this list between Team USA guys, kids just out of college, even some PBA 50 guys, like I see Eugene McCune's on the list. Tim Max bowling.
Loved Tim. And he actually just bowled. Mac just bowled here, Justin, on New Year's Day in Jersey. And he finished third here. So Timmy's healthy. I mean, it's a coin flip out there. That was the toughest region to pick.
And two other guys that are fairly new to the scene, Nick Pate and Matt Russo.
And don't forget Hoope either is in that region as well.
I know, like the list just keeps going.
Yeah, so it's kind of just like take 15 names, put them in a hat, pick them. That's the hardest one.
That's what it is. And there are areas or tournaments where there are a lot of guys in contentions, but there are guys that get to the top more successfully. I think that the other regions, it seems like there's, from our list, it seems like there's 8 to 10 guys. This one looks like there's about 15 or 20
easily
that have a chance to make that top 5.
Exactly. That's going to be the bloodbath region there. That's going to be. I wish that region was here, and it was closer to go watch that, because that's going to be something.
That's the one that you want to be at to watch.
Yeah, exactly. How about we go to Tampa?
Okay.
Let's go to Tampa. Most underrated bowler on tour for the past decade probably is my first pick.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you know who I'm thinking of? Do you know who I'm?
Most underrated bowler in the past decade.
Easily, most underrated bowler on tour, without a doubt. Most underrated bowler on tour. Oh, you know what? Let's ask that question. Who in the chat would answer that one? Who is the most underrated player on the PBA tour? We'll leave that as the question and see who can get it in that Tampa region. There it is. And look,
wow, that was quick.
I mean, this guy's right on this.
That was quick.
He's on it. He knows his stuff. Yeah, Dick Allen, absolutely. That's number one. Dick Allen is my first pick out of the Tampa region. Number two.
I mean, looking at him like specifically, I mean, he definitely has bowled pretty well over the last 2 or 3 years. He won one or two times. I think he won twice in 2019. made the show at the U.S. Open. His names definitely should be on that list.
I think Dick Allen is a guy. He's probably the one guy currently on tour that should have a major that doesn't have a major.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very underrated, and he's been underrated for a long time. So, and he always finds a way to get there. I know he calls himself the house bowler, but man, oh man, when they get sloppy and they get tricky, he finds a way to get there every time. He really does.
Yeah.
So Dick Allen's my first pick. Second pick, Dom Barrett.
Okay.
I mean, how do you bet against Dom? He's been there before. He knows how to get it done.
Good player.
Very good player. Dom Barrett's my second one. I'll give you a lefty out of that region.
Okay, go ahead.
Jesper.
Okay. I mean, yeah, the way that he had, I mean, he's been, when his ball gets lined up to strike, he doesn't miss.
No, he strikes for hours.
He doesn't miss. And, I mean, there was the one event in Indianapolis that he led the singles, won the singles, led the doubles, won the doubles.
That was a Woodland, and nobody strikes a Woodland except for Jesper.
Yeah, I mean, that guy struck a lot that week.
Yeah, he strikes an awful lot.
Yeah.
And this is kind of one of those things where I guess he would probably have his better look on the short, which he can throw that urethane on the short.
Yeah, I mean, I think he can throw urethane on a decent amount of stuff.
Yeah, but he'd probably get majority of his pins in the shorter patterns, right?
Yeah, probably.
So just whack him on the two shorter patterns and do what he has to do, moving forward.
Right. And
then my last two, TJ is my fourth.
Okay.
And I got to give you another senior player.
Okay.
I every one of my regions has a senior player. Have you noticed this so far?
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, with the money on the line for something this big, how do you not bet on Norm Duke?
Good pick.
How do you not bet against Norman? I mean, it doesn't matter what you put down there, if it's 36 feet or 56 feet. Norman finds a way to strike. And he's the one senior player that I don't think the carry affects him for some reason. He doesn't have that flat 10. You know what I mean? Like
no, and I think it's a combination. Like most of the senior players are more speed dominant players. I think Norm has a little bit of a higher rev rate and a little bit of a slower ball speed that makes him more matched up. And I think that's what makes him more dominant on the kids tour as compared to other seniors.
Yeah, I mean, he's
a few other names that I would throw into your list.
There's a bunch of them here. Doherty.
Yep. Jason Couch, Ryan Simonelli, Williams. I mean, the GOAT.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I just saw he won a tournament in Florida. I mean,
yeah,
he's bowling against the kids and he's putting his own up.
Yeah, he can hold his own, obviously. I mean, again, that's a hard region to pick. Is Couch healthy finally? I know he's had some knee problems. Is Couch healthy?
Yeah. I would say that there's probably 10 guys in that region that definitely are going to make a run for it.
And he's 50 now. Couch is a senior, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to...
I know that he's ready to get out on the senior tour and put a dig on Parker Bohn.
Yeah, and there's a lot of guys that are ready to put a little hit on Parker. So speaking of Parker, let's go to Parker's region.
Okay.
So we're going to go to Virginia. First one I got coming out of Virginia, Kyle Troop.
I would agree with that. Absolutely.
And that goes back to the whole that region difference where Kyle's down in the Carolinas and they kind of combined it. So Kyle's my first pick out of the region. Second pick out of the region is Bill O'Neill.
Absolutely. Defending champion.
Mm-hmm. That's a no-brainer to me. He's fantastic. His game is great. He's a shot maker. There's not many shot makers on tour anymore, I guess you want to call it that, but Bill's a shot maker, and he is a phenomenal player. The next three, I have a rookie, I guess a part-time player, and a senior.
Okay.
Which one do you want to take first?
If I had to guess on the senior, I'm gonna say Dad.
It's not.
Okay.
Nothing against Dad. You know that.
Yeah.
It is not.
This is a no hard feelings show. Let me
No, I
scroll through
know.
this again. Ooh, a senior.
A senior.
I'll say Brian LeClaire.
It is not LeClaire.
Well, I'm 0 for 2. You just wanna tell me at this point?
Schaefer.
Okay, I could see that.
Again, you know what? That's the guy who should have won a major that's never won a major on tour. I mean, how many runner-ups does this guy have in majors?
At least 10.
It has to be at least 10. I mean, the guy has been there forever in the majors.
Yeah.
And yes, I know he's over 50 now. He's not what he was in his prime, but again, in the majors, he always finds a way. And he has that voodoo roll, that weird roll too.
Yeah.
Where you know what I'm talking about? He knows how to manipulate it.
Yeah.
It's like his ball never hooks in the front, in the heads. Like he clears the heads regardless of what's out there.
Right.
All right. So Schaefer's my senior. Do you want to do the rookie or the part-time player?
I'm going to guess on the rookie because this is a guy that I think is going to be in contention, and this has to be his first national stop.
Yep, then you know the guy I picked then.
He's just I have not seen a youth bowler strike as much as this guy when he is lined up on the left.
Then you got it. Anthony Nair, correct.
I mean, you watch this kid bowl, and you have no words. This guy, he's won at least one regional, if not two.
He won the regional at Strathmore. What was that, back in
October? Around there.
In the fall.
He won the bowler supply in York. He's got
two.
Yeah, he's 1 year out of high school. This is his first year out of high school.
Yeah, and for those who don't know him, his dad bowled on tour in the 90s. His father won a title on tour. But Anthony Nair, he does not miss it at the bottom. He is solid, and he's built like a football player too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a brick. I mean, this kid is a brick. And
you can't even say he's playing the wrong sport because of how hard it is.
No, he's hungry too, man. He has that determination. He's ready to win. Like, he's ready to win now. Yeah. Anthony Nair is my pick as the fourth one out of the region. And who is the part-time player?
I want to say O'Grady.
See, I don't consider Matt a part-time player.
Part-time player.
You know what? I'll give you this. He was retired, and he started bowling again.
Machuga?
Yeah, Machuga. It appears that Jeff Collins here has confused you and your brother, it looks like, in the chat.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Jeff.
Yeah, Machuga's my fifth. So my picks out of the East: Troop, O'Neill, Nair, Machuga, Schaefer.
And I'll give you another guy, and I can probably give you five more guys.
I could have done the same thing.
Chris Vi.
Yeah, Chris Vi is another one.
Chris Vi is in my top 5.
Okay.
He made 2 major shows last year, and
back to back. Yep.
He's a player, and he knows how to get done. I would put Sterner in that mix.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of hard work that he puts in, you always got to have him as a contender.
Yeah, he's the hardest practicer on tour. That a doubt.
Let me see. Who else?
There's a lot of good ones.
Brian LeClaire. I know I mentioned him earlier.
LeClaire is another one. And let's not forget. I mean,
Michael Davidson, young guy.
Okay.
I would throw him in the mix. Yeah.
And let's not forget about your old man either. I mean, he's been putting a lot of time the past couple weeks out there practicing and whatnot. You know,
he's been slowly getting back into it, which is good.
Yeah, no,
So,
he is. I mean, there's a lot of talent here. So that's another hard one, but I love Anthony Nyer as my pick.
yeah, I think he's definitely going to be, if his head is on right and he's lined up, back up because this kid's going to
Yeah.
outstrike you.
Yeah, he strikes a lot when he gets it, and he's a one-hander who has the power of a two-hander.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is that a good way to say it?
And he can keep his angles so shut down. His ball, if it doesn't hit as hard, it hits harder than Jesper's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chuck gave us one more guy, Matt Ogle.
Ogle's another one.
Ogle's definitely another sleeper.
Yeah, and then and don't forget, we got the local guys here. We got Fury's on that list, Ostrander, Paluzik's on the list.
Yeah, can't count those guys out either.
Nope, can't count them out either. And then you got obviously O'Grady's on the list. Pepe's another one. Pep has been bowling well. He won an over under this weekend. He won something last weekend. Pepe's another one. Yeah. Another hard worker out there. Kind of like the Sterner, always practicing. He's another one from here. Yeah, man. I mean, this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a lot of bowling in the next couple of days to watch.
This is going to be fun. We will definitely plan for a show at the beginning of next week because once this is over, they go right into the step ladders. The step ladders is the end of next week. They're all recorded, and then the finals is live in February.
All right, so the practice session starts Thursday or Friday.
There's a practice session Thursday night, and the official practices are on Friday.
So qualifying Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. No, only Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's two. So wait a minute. So it's 2 blocks per day.
Yes, 2 Saturday blocks a day. Yep.
And then you said, and then the TV shows are recorded on Monday.
Late next week.
Oh, late next week.
Yeah, because the PBA Junior Finals are in Jupiter Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Now, Brandon got through to that, right?
No, he did not. He was the first spot out. He lost in a roll-off to Parker Laubach.
That's right. I forgot that. Okay. All right. So basically, next week, so we're going to have Holman on Thursday.
Yep.
We'll have Marshall Thursday. We will coordinate probably for next Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll maybe do next Thursday.
We'll plan for a show, but there could be one, there could be 2 next week because I know that the PBA Junior is going to be a pretty big thing that we're going to want to talk about.
We'll do that as well.
Yeah. So we'll be back on Thursday at 1:00 with Marshall Holman.
Now, are we doing anything with our picks? You want to wager like a Fruita Bowl on?
We can do that. I'll officially pick 5.
Yeah, you need to pick 5 in each region.
Okay. I'll officially pick 5, and on Thursday we will talk about them, and we'll.
How about we do the most finalists in the step ladders? Whoever has the greater amount of bowlers in the step ladder will win a Fruita Bowl.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
That's fair enough, right?
Yeah.
So Marshall Holman Thursday.
Okay.
PBA Juniors / recapping this, the players next week.
Okay.
And then to be determined on our celebrity guest thereafter.
Yep.
And what do you have going on? Do you have anything coming up? Are you bowling anything coming up? What's on the Justin Bohn schedule?
There's a county over under this weekend that I will probably be vlogging.
Okay.
Always like to vlog the local stuff.
Are you going to bowl Ocean Sunday night?
That's a good question.
Or there's a sport tournament that I'm going to on Saturday at Bristol Pike.
Maybe. We'll see.
If you want some more information, call me. I have to run, but I'm getting my wisdom teeth pulled this afternoon.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at the time like Mike's gotta get on it. So,
I have a 1:30 dentist, so we'll talk next week. We'll talk Thursday. We'll be back on Thursday with everybody.
We'll be back on Thursday at 1:00 with Marshall Holman, and then the following week we'll be talking to the PBA Juniors and the picks and the top 5 about each region. So
don't forget to visit buddiesproshop.com, Zone 5 for 5% off. And happy birthday to our boss, Chris Forey, today.
Happy birthday, Chris. So everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you on Thursday at 1 o'clock right here inside the Bohn and Zano Zone. Everybody, have a good one.
Bye, everybody.